Okay, let's cut through the noise. Everyone is losing their minds over the latest chatbot that can write a poem or the new image generator that can put a cat on the moon. It's cute and it is all a distraction. While everyone is staring at the shiny new toys, the real story, the one that actually matters for the future of humanity and the global balance of power, is happening in the shadows, and it is a story about shortage. You have probably seen the headlines. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, the high priest of the AGI cult, comes out and says, in quotes, "We are out of GPUs." He admits they have better, more powerful models ready to go, but they cannot release them to everyone because they literally do not have the horsepower to run them. Their GPUs are melting. The mainstream tech press reports this is a simply supply and demand story. Wow, ChatGPT is so popular they cannot keep up. What a great problem to have. That is the fairy tale version. It is also dangerously naive. This is not a story about popular app hitting a growth surge. This is a story about a siege. It is the story of a new Cold War being fought not with nuclear warheads, but with silicon, wafers, and export controls. Sam Altman's admission is not a humble brag. It is a distress signal. It is the first visible crack in the utopian facade of AI, revealing the brutal physical reality that the entire race to build God is being throttled by a handful of companies, two warring superpowers, and a bunch of refined dirt. First, you have to understand why you cannot just make more GPUs. This is not like cranking out iPhones. This is like trying to build a new Manhattan project every 6 months. We're talking about the most complex and expensive manufacturing process in human history. A NVIDIA H100 or Blackwell chip is not a product, it is a miracle of physics. They are built in hyper specialized foundries or fabs, almost all of which are owned by one company, TSMC, in Taiwan. Think about that. The single most critical resource for the future of intelligence is concentrated on one island. A modern fab costs over $20 billion to build. And as we just mentioned, the fab is a hyper specialized foundry. So, in case anybody forgot that, so a modern fab costs over $20 billion to build and takes years to bring online. Inside of that fab, you have machines the size of a city bus firing lasers to etch patterns onto silicon that are smaller than a virus. It is a black art. The world has a finite and very small capacity for producing these things. So when people sit in forums and cry, why doesn't NVIDIA just make 10 million more gaming cards? They are fundamentally misunderstanding the game being played. NVIDIA's consumer graphics cards are now an afterthought, a side hustle. The real money, the obscene 90% profit margins, are in the data center GPUs, the AI accelerators. They can sell one H100 server rack for the price of a suburban house. Why would they retool a priceless production line, a line that is booked solid for the next 2 years, to make a gamer's RTX 5090? They would not. The AI labs, the sovereign wealth funds, the nation states, they get first dibs. Everyone else gets the scraps. That is the simple, brutal capitalism of it all. But even that is just the first layer of the lie. The real chokehold is not just about manufacturing capacity. It is geopolitical. In 2022, the Biden administration, building on Trump's policies, effectively banned the sale of advanced NVIDIA chips to China. This was not a trade dispute. This was a declaration of technological warfare. It was the United States drawing a line in the sand and saying, we will not allow our primary adversary to get its hands on the foundational tools for building next generation AI. It was a strategic decision to kneecap China's progress, even if it meant disrupting the entire global market. And China, of course, retaliated. They did not send warship. They did something much smarter, much more painful in the long run. They banned the export of rare earth minerals, specifically gallium and germanium, which are absolutely critical for manufacturing high-performance semiconductors. Suddenly, a massive chunk of the raw materials for the global chip supply chain, some say between 20 to 35%, was held hostage. So when Sam Altman says we are out of GPUs, he's not just talking about high demand. He's talking about a global supply chain being choked from both ends. The US is blocking the sale of finished chips to its rival, and its rival is blocking the flow of raw materials to the US and its allies. This is not a shortage, it is a blockade. It is a hardware war being fought with export controls and mineral bans. of a digital utopia is built on a very fragile foundation of physical stuff that comes out of the ground in places that do not like them very much. This siege has a terrifying side effect that no one is talking about. It creates a new global aristocracy, the lords of compute. A few years ago, a couple of smart kids in a garage could theoretically have a breakthrough idea that could compete with the big guys. Innovation came from anywhere. That era is over. Now, to even be in the game, to train a state-of-the-art foundational model, you don't need a brilliant idea. You need access to a cluster of tens of thousands of H100s. That is an upfront cost of hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions. Who has that? Microsoft, Google, Meta, Amazon, and OpenAI backed by Microsoft, and a handful of startups like Anthropic and Inflection who have raised staggering amounts of capital specifically to buy these chips. That is it. That is the list. The GPU shortage is acting as a massive centrifuge, spinning the entire AI industry and separating it into two classes: the compute rich and the compute poor. The rich get to build the future. The poor get to build the little apps on top of the rich APIs. It is a forced consolidation of power. It kills competition. It strangles independent research. Universities cannot compete. Entire countries cannot compete. If you do not have the hardware, you are effectively locked out of the next technological revolution. It is the ultimate moat, built not out of code, but out of silicon and steel. And this is where it gets really serious, because this is not just about the rollout of GPT 4.5 being staggered. This is not about your chatbot being a little slower during peak hours. This is about the critical path to artificial general intelligence. The consensus in the field, for better or for worse, is that the path to AGI is paved with compute, more data, bigger models, and an astronomical amount of processing power. We're talking about a scale that makes today's data centers look like a high school computer lab. OpenAI and Microsoft are talking about a $100 billion supercomputer called Stargate. Elon Musk wants 1 million GPUs for his colossal project. These are not just ambitious projects. They represent a belief system that the key to unlocking superhuman intelligence is simply a matter of scaling up the hardware. But the GPU siege throws a brutal wrench in that plan. The dream of an exponential intelligence explosion is hitting the linear physical wall of manufacturing capacity and geopolitical strife. Everyone is racing to build the engine, but nobody has the parts, and the few who do, like NVIDIA, are now the most powerful gatekeepers on the planet. Access to a cluster of H100s is now a greater geopolitical asset than an aircraft carrier. It determines who gets to build the future. The entire promise of AGI, the most transformative technology in human history, is being bottlenecked by sand, chemicals, and political posturing between two declining empires. So this is the AGI dilemma in its rawest form. We have the blueprint for a technology that could solve every major problem facing humanity, or create new ones that could extinguish us. But the speed at which we can build it, and more importantly, the speed at which we can build the bridge for it, the safety and alignment research, is now being dictated not by brilliant scientists in a lab, but by bureaucrats in Washington and Beijing, and by supply chain managers at TSMC. The throttle on our future is no longer just theoretical. It is physical. It is being squeezed hard. All right, thanks for listening, guys and girls. So that's my take today on the Sam Altman announcing that they're running out of GPUs. It's more like saying that, hey, who can build GPUs, first of all? And there seems to be a global supply chain shortage because of some actions by various governments. So this is super interesting, and I hope you all enjoyed that. All right, see y'all later. Like and subscribe, just to let me know that there are people watching, so I can be more incentivized to, make these videos. All right, see ya.